Hey, Tony here from Visibility Academy. Really excited to welcome you to your setup video. Let's get you started inside of the new Visibility Systems account that you just had created. So it should start with an email coming to you saying, hey, your account has been created with a login URL and a reminder of your username and your password. So keep this email safe because you're going to need it in the future. Just click the button to log in or go to the login URL. So this is what it's going to look like when you get to the login page. It's pretty simple. Just use your new username and password as said before. Now what's going to happen, we have two-factor authentication baked in, because basically it's super important these days to have two-factor authentication because passwords get compromised through leaks in browsers, things like this. So this bulletproofs you against having any issues because you can have an email come to you or a text to your phone. So I'm just going to send myself a little text now with the code to get in, and it comes through straight away. So the code that you get sent to you expires after just a few minutes, so be quick to use that as soon as you are ready. Okay, so I'm just going to make this a bit smaller. There we go, so we can see the settings here at the bottom because we're going to need that later. Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to land on a page that says Launchpad, and it looks like this. Okay, so let's check out what it looks like. So the Launchpad is basically getting you set up with the first immediate things that you're going to need. It will say connect on these. I actually connected them, then disconnected so I could show you the connection. But all these will say connect. This will probably either say checking or connect there as well. I think I already clicked on it. So don't freak out if anything's too different, but we're going to work our way down the list now. So first off, it's saying download the app and engage with your leads on the go. Highly recommend you download the app. This website is built so that you can build stuff and do more complex stuff, but when you're on the go, when you're out and about, whatever, you can use the app to keep in touch with your customers, which is what it's all about. So when you click on the link, it says, hey, just double check this is your phone number, and it'll send you a text, and that text will identify what operating system your phone is running. So it'll know if you are on iOS, so an Apple device, or Android, which is quite important that you have the right app. So it's going to send you the right links and everything. So you're going to hit continue, and it's going to send you the thing. So there you go. It's sent the link to download it. Okay, so when you get that, you download it and you just log in with your login details that you got in that email. You see, I told you you would need it. Okay, next, you're going to want to work your way down this list. So let's connect Google My Business. If you have a Google My Business account, then you probably are aware of it. If not, you can just figure out if you have a Google My Business account already. Let me quickly show you how that works. Basically, you go to google.co.uk or whatever one for your country, type in your business name, and if there is a Google My Business listing, it will come up. And to be fair, you probably already know if you've got one, but if there's one that's been automatically generated by Google, you can claim it by clicking on the Own This Business thing and going down that route. If you need help on that respect, just go to Google and type, or go to YouTube, even better, and type claim Google My Business listing, and they will walk you through it. There's thousands of guides out there, so there's no need for me to redo that for you. But the short version is you're going to want to either log in over here or claim one if you haven't already done it, or if nothing comes up, then just create a new one, and you basically inside of Google just Google the terms Google My Business, and you'll get this thing here where it says get listed, and then you basically click either manage now or sign in depending on what your situation is. So it is that simple. So let's connect the Google My Business for this business. And what happens is it says, hey, this lead connector, which is my back end, it says it wants to access your Google account. Is that okay? And you just say yes, because it's not going to work unless you say yes. So that is connecting. It's saying, what page do you want to connect? I'm saying Jackson Electrical Services Limited, and it's saying, okay, which Google Analytics account do you want to connect, and it should detect that automatically if you've got one, and then hit done, and then it's going to do its magic. It's all very simple. All we're doing is working from top down to bottom. So you're going to click connect over here to connect your Facebook and Instagram if you've got them, and it's going to say, hey, listen, heads up, turn on all permissions. You need them all on. So you say, okay, got it. And then you're going to say connect. Now, with me, it's saying, hey, you've previously connected. So I'm going to hit edit settings. But instead, it's going to ask you to log in or just hit connect. So I'm going to hit edit settings, and I'm going to find Jackson. They haven't got an Instagram, actually, so I'm just going to hit next. This is showing everyone that I've got connected currently. Let's find Jackson Electrical. There we go. It's already checked. So then I'm going to hit next. Everything is turned on. So then I hit done. Okay. It's saying you've now connected. And you say okay. And then that's it. So that's connected. It says, what business do you want to connect? We're connecting Jackson Electrical Services. It's as easy as that. Now, when I've got all these options coming up, it's because I'm admin and on dozens of pages. I've got dozens of Gmail and Google accounts and stuff like that. Don't freak out. My thing looks quite messy. Yours will be very, very simple. So it's saying generate leads from your website by connecting the web chat widget. We're not going to do that right now. We're going to skip this one for now because it depends on a couple of things. Connect your Stripe account to start accepting payments. If your business is the kind that takes payments, which is basically every business, I guess. But for example, if you're a coach and you want to set up membership sites that are paid, or if you're a local services person, maybe an electrician like in this case, and you want to invoice people maybe for one-off jobs or maybe all your jobs, you're going to need a way of taking payment, and Stripe is our recommended way of doing this because it's much better than PayPal, and it's got the lower fees attached to it as well. Obviously they take a fee, but Stripe has lower fees. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit connect, but only do that if you've created a Stripe account. It's very easy to set up a Stripe account. It asks you things that you know, like what's your name, what's your business name, what's your phone number, this and that and the other. Then you have to confirm an email. All you do is go to stripe.com. Would help if you typed it correctly, Tony. Stripe.com, and you're going to, mine says sign in, but you can, there you go, hit start now, and you're going to sign yourself up for a Stripe account. It is that simple, don't worry. So then it's when you've got that set up, you may already have one set up, you just hit connect, and it's going to pop up and say, all right, let's get logged into your Stripe account, and it is that simple. When that's done, it will say connected. I'm not going to connect my Stripe account to Jackson Electrical because that would be silly. If you ever need to add more team members, maybe you've got somebody who is helping out, but you don't want them to have full access to everything, you can add them. It's very easy. You click add, you put in their email address, and you send the invite. It's that simple. They will get an email that looks probably a bit like this one. It says, hey, come here and log in. So maybe warn them beforehand what you're doing, and make sure obviously there's somebody you trust, because they're going to see stuff in the business. So if you need to give somebody restricted access, then speak with me separately about that. Okay, so that's the basics covered, but there is a little bit more we need to look at. So looking down here, we're going to want to go down to, skip past all of these. Yep, we're going to skip down to settings. Okay, so business info here on the left. So this menu is now changed. So there's new stuff here. Business info. You're going to want to click either the plus that was there or click change, and it's going to ask you to upload a logo. Okay, so you would find the logo that you're looking for. Here's, for example, I've got Jackson logo 2 JPEG, and then I would do open and it would upload. I've already done it. If you can do them in the correct size, then that makes life a bit easier, but don't worry. It will squash it down if it's bigger, but bear in mind you can't have bigger than 2.5 megabytes. So that's simple. You can see the size of it over here, you see. So for example, this is 3.8 megabytes, and your image does need to be a JPEG anyway, so usually they're in the kilobytes anyway, so you'll be fine. Okay, so just go through, make sure everything's filled in, so your business name, your company email, your phone number. I actually need to change this to their number when I'm done. Put in the website, choose yourself a niche if you can. It does make things a bit easier later on. Obviously these are home services in this case, and then click update company. Call and voicemail, we're going to leave that for now. Basically, it's saying how long is your number going to ring before it goes to voicemail. You've been assigned a phone number, and I will show you that shortly. Basically, you're going to want to use that number for texts and some calls, because we're going to change the number on your Google My Business to be your new number through this system, and here's why. Let's say somebody goes over to Google and they search for an electrician in this example. The electrician doesn't answer the phone because they're busy, because, hey, did you know 60% on average of small business phone calls go unanswered, which is obviously not ideal. And hey, it's because you're busy. You're under floorboards, you're in the loft, you're doing whatever. And the person who maybe normally handles your phone calls on your behalf, well, they're probably busy too. So it's totally fine. But here's the thing. When somebody doesn't get their call answered, what do? They just ring the next person down the list. So they ring you, they don't get answered. That's why we have this enable missed call text back. So maybe this is for your business, maybe it's not, it's your decision. You're going to want to turn it on if it is what you want. And basically what it does, it says, hi, this is, and it automatically fills in location name from here. It says, hi, this is Jackson Electrical Services Limited. I saw that we just missed your call. How can I help? Now what happens there is they're about to ring the next person on the list. They get the text, so then they reply to you. This means we've saved that inquiry. You can test it by popping in your number and it will send you a text. When you've changed stuff, just hit save missed call text settings and you're going to be fine. Let's scroll back up to the top. Let's make sure your address and everything's correct. Time zone is handy as well. Make sure that's correct. Click update. You want to turn on this merge Facebook contacts by name. Basically, this means when somebody messages you through your website and they message you through Facebook, it's not going to make two separate contacts in your system. It's going to combine all of those conversations into one easy thread. So just make sure that that is turned on. Everything else is fine as it is, so it should look like this. Okay, so looking at my staff, this is where you can add employees and stuff like that as well. We can restrict their access through here. I'll show you that later. Things like pipelines, we're going to set up later. Let's look at profile. This is you personally. So you've got your business, and then you've got people who work in your business. They may speak with different people. So for example, in this case, this is Neil. When Neil is logged in, Neil can see Neil's profile. Okay, speaking in third person there. Well, it's not me, so I guess. But anyway, either way, look, you can set it up so that it's got your email address, your name, your phone number, so that when you send emails and stuff, it's coming from you, so they know who they're dealing with. If it's not the biggest deal in the world, if you're a one-man band, just fill it in for you anyway. It's going to make sense later on. For changing your password, you just put in your existing password and then your new password, put it in twice. This is if the password you got sent is gobbledygook, which it probably is, to be fair. Yeah, you're going to want to change that there. If you ever get locked out, let me know. I can let you back in. Over here on the left at the bottom, you can connect your Zoom account if you do online stuff. It's very important that you do that. You just click on connect and it walks you through it. Also, if you use Outlook Calendar for your calendar, you're going to click connect there. Now, if you don't use Outlook for your calendar, I mean, I don't, then don't worry. You just don't need to connect it over here. Instead, we're going to be choosing our primary calendar over here, and it just says here, look, calendar not selected for sync. So you can hit edit, and you can say, yeah, I want to use this calendar over here on Google. Okay, you might have multiple calendars and things like that, and that's fine. Choose whichever is the right one for you. You can also check for conflicts, which is quite handy. You might have a business calendar, but you might also have a family calendar. And if it's marked that you're going to be away with the family or something, it can check for conflicts and that sort of things. That's quite handy to have. Moving back up here, we've kind of done a loop back up. You can set your availability based on just a general overarching setting. Like here we've got Monday to Friday, 12 till 12, so it's showing as available 24 hours a day. Now, the reason for that is so that you can then set calendars later, and it's not going to go, oh, you're not available. So I would just generally leave this alone. And the meeting location, you can set that, you can set it to be a Zoom link, and you can have it so it always does the same Zoom link, or we can set it so it generates a new Zoom link for every new meeting, which is quite handy because it'll call it the name of the appointment, and then it makes it handy if you're looking back for recordings and stuff like that. So if you want to know more about that one, let me know. Okay, so that's profile over here. We're going to look at calendars in a little while. So you've been assigned a phone number, that's already there. Reputation management, we can have a look at that in another video. It's really powerful, the reputation management. I've got to say, it really is super powerful stuff. If you need to change anything on the telephone, then you absolutely can do. For example, where it forwards the calls to. Kind of important. You're going to want to do that. The Call Connect, what this does is it says, hi, this is, press any key to be connected to the person. So you know that it's come from here. If you want it to go straight through, then that's fine. I would leave the whisper message turned off, and turning on call recording, it'll just say this call will be recorded for quality purposes. You could turn call recording off. That's absolutely fine. The incoming call timeout and the outbound call timeout, that is when you're going to miss calls. If you're going to be using the phone number, this number up here, to be receiving phone calls, then you're going to need to either make that number higher so that it gives you time to answer it, or lower if you want it to go to voicemail. If you turn this off, then it means it's just going to ring forever, which you definitely don't ever want. So I would have it at 60 or less, because you're either going to answer it immediately, or they're going to go to this voicemail, or rather they're going to get the missed call text back. So that is super handy. So those are your details for your phone number. Next off, coming down here, the rest of this stuff you pretty much are not going to need to mess with. Custom fields, custom values, all that can be left. Domains we're going to look at later. Integrations, this should be set up for you now. The only reason you would come here is if you want to connect QuickBooks or Shopify, because you can connect your Shopify if you use Shopify for anything. SMTP and Mailgun services, we're going to set that up later. I do recommend that you set up your own email sending service. We will look at that later. But that's basically it for your getting started setup. I know there's been a few things. You probably got to pause this a load of times. But it's well worth going through all of this and getting these things set up before you dive in.